the man above and up him a got a blue. Put it in the kitchen, some of my well like a bottle. The singers and DJs and social media's coming at you. It burn me, 100% free. It burn me, garbage my love it. It burn me, give the teacher them pay. It burn me, I see corruption please. It burn me, but only people them own. It burn me, every day appear arms out. It burn me, appear money them a thief. It burn me, and them a sell out the beach. Can't for me again. You can't for me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy candle, we can't buy time. You can't for me again. Can't for me again. You can't for me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. You touch a blind and a resort to crime. You can't for me again. Come me say big up all the charities and all of the giver. Some a go like say them powerful, me no make a bigger. The hundred the promises done and them not deliver. Cut up the youth and rough and they down in our river. Them a bold money and they lie them. Corruption smell and they pocket them smell. When police don't a market like Satan out of hell go mash up people start and thief when them spell. It burn me. What they treat the market man. It burn me. What them a treat the cat man. It burn me. What they treat the peanut man. It burn me. What them a treat the dirt man. It burn me. What them a treat the son man. It burn me. What them a treat policeman. It burn me. All them a treat soldier man.
Stibbidim day, stibbidim day, stibbidim day. We in Global TV says certain kind of friend we no cape. And some informer friend we love lake. We in Global, bona fake friend and bona tape. We in Global, we not promote them, we not support them. Look at them on the cheek, come here represent for we in Global TV. Check it.
Good evening and welcome to the People's Point of View. Thank you for joining us this evening. Liberty, boss, liberty this evening. Baby, somebody is going to get moved over. Thank you for being here this evening. It is your People's Point of View. To my community and my family platform members, mothership, moderators, membership holders, good night and welcome. Send go call everybody we want to know about Andrew Holness. Send go call everybody we want to know if Andrew Holness in a problem. Deep shit, as they would say, muddy waters. Call, crowd, like and share the live. We're going to bust liberty and Andrew Holness tonight. We're going to drop big buff milestone on Andrew foot tonight. And when the dust rises, Prime Minister, I hope your nose will be able to work through the dust to come. I wonder if the Prime Minister would be considering resigning. I wonder if the Prime Minister would be able to engage with us. I wonder if the Prime Minister would be able to provide an answer to any of the questions that will be posed tonight to Andrew Holness. Bang around. I got hit Andrew Holness. It's only what is called a matter of time. A matter of time. Your Prime Minister is being held by the balls. And when you're held by the balls, for those of you who've got one, it's quite a hold that you must submit to the will of the ball holder. Back around. Good night and welcome. Debbie Jarvis, how are you? Natalia Freeman, good night. Good night. Oh, send go call crowd, you know. Send go call crowd because we have questions to ask Andrew Evan Riley, Jamaican foodie. Now the coats, how are you? Annie, good evening. Sunshine, Pamela Akola, Denise Hall, Dora Morris, good evening, good evening. Charlotte Reed, Violet Watson, Rosie D, Pamela McNeil, Rosemary Samuels, Arlene Foster, Tony Tall, Kate M. Beat and Teach, Ladybug. Hoping I like I share the live in the Mary Messenger TV. Good evening, all, and welcome. Thank you for joining us. We have a lot to talk to the Prime Minister about. Michelle Lewis Wilson, God's gift. Head teacher K, good evening, Wagwan. Miranda Rudder. Marcia Thomas, good evening. Althea Johnson, Liebert Parents, Carleen Jones, James, Dorothy Elliott, Prof. Gorgeous Lady, Yvonne Riley, good evening all, and welcome Paulette Jones, Country Girl 84, good evening Yvonne Johnson, Dorothy Elliott, good evening, Nifty Friend, Larry Beckford, Dennis Hall, Jim Ashley, Andrea, Brittany L., John Pugh, Ubuntu, Carlene James, good evening, Rena, Keith Solomon, Brittany L., Doreen Wilson, Pauline Robinson, Christine Gilbert, E.M., good evening all, Patricia Hutchinson, good evening Abina Sarkodie, Carlene James, Michelle Johnson, Carla Hayes, Martha Cooper in Foundation, good evening Sheena Kelly, good evening Shane Bernard, Andy Brown, Look at TV, Sharon Powell, Lord, I know just a run past Messa. Fabian Anderson, JP. Good evening, everyone, and welcome. I hope I haven't missed anyone. Thank you for joining us this evening. I'm sure for those of you who were over on Context Matter, you would have heard and you'd have seen that the application in the Vibes Cartel hearing has not been successful, Mr. Fairclough. How are you? However, we are aware that there is a June 10th, a matter of days, hearing away for as to whether there will be a retrial or not. So there will be another euphoria around the Vibes Cartel issue in the next 10 days. So how they can use tonight, we just go one and move on from Vibes Cartel because Connie, Gary, good evening and welcome. First time seeing you on the Global Television Group. Thank you for joining. Now, one is entitled to change their mind at any time. Good evening and welcome to the knife, the sheep, and the goat. The politics of the Jamaica Labour Party The narrative of the Andrew Holness regime has suddenly wheeled its knife into the back of dual citizenship in the Jamaica Labour Party. Then let's play politics here. I've always said to my audience, I've never lied to my audience about what politics is. It is really a game. Understanding the game and getting into the game and outplay the players of the game is how politics works. I have a change of mind. I have new advice for Mark Golden. Renounce your citizenship. Get ahead of them in the game. There is more, much more, Mr. Golden, Janet Moody, much more in the Jamaica Labour Party that this knife that the Jamaica Labour Party wielded will continue to hurt and stick them in the back. Give up your citizenship. You don't need it. You can go back for it anytime, Pauline Robinson, you want to. If they're playing politics, let's outplay them. It is politics they're playing. Outplay them, because the knife they have wielded has turned around to stick them right in the back. And we go, take my time. Work up to catastrophe tonight. Out of them, just a mind people business out of door through the window. Sorry. Just mind people business. Call crowd, you know. Let me look at how much I know. No, at 292 upon the producer Wayne Global TV. X. There's quite a few of you on the X tonight. Good night. Is there any member of the Jamaica Labour Party over here tonight on the X? Is there any hierarchy or bougie from the Jamaica Labour Party over here tonight? Because we have questions to ask Andrew Michael Holness, a prime minister who has been held by the balls. We will get to that. But the knife that is sticking Matthew Smoother at the moment was wielded by Andrew Michael Holness. Continue, Prime Minister, to wield that knife, which every time you wield, Prime Minister, the handle turns, the blade rather, Prime Minister, turns to the handle direction. Look here. An investigation has been started on the Prime Minister. I may have loads of information to give you. And if you not go play soft ball with no finger, you not go hear the Prime Minister's secret. You not go hear it. So the more you play with no finger, and the more me I go play with the Prime Minister's secret. I sell story around here. Yeah. We sell news. So no bother with it. Don't bother with the finger and no kimbo. Use on the finger and push the like button. Yes. So we're not sorry for Matthew Smoother. We really haven't got an advice for Matthew Smoother, because there's an old saying, dig the beam out of your eye before you come in after me. While your other forefinger is pointing at me. The one who needs to chop off the JLP top teeth is pointing back at you. So, the knife, the sheep, and the goat. All right, Demia Wanya say, while signaling that investigation into illicit enrichment and other acts of corruption required more time and extensive scrutiny, Director of Investigation at the Integrity Commission, Kevin Stevenson, has signaled that the country will soon have an appreciation of the complexity of those probes when the anti-corruption body release reports on these offenses to Parliament. How much more long we have to wait, sir? How much more long? We wait a whole heap. We want to go through. But where do we own investigation to? Other people are dig, and we are dig to find out where them are dig about. Hey, roll it along, my brother, roll it along. Ta-da-da-day, they say, roll it along. We're rolling along, aren't we, Andrew, Michael, Holness? We're rolling it along tonight. United States on Thursday imposed sanction on Ugandan parliamentary speaker, her husband, and several other officials over corruption and serious abuse of human rights. Hey, Parliament Speaker Anita Among was sanctioned due to involvement in significant corruption tied to her leadership of the Ugandan National Assembly, the U.S. State Department says. I wonder who else might be coming under sanction. Let us spell sanction for you. C-A-C-N-C-O-N. Sanctioned. Prime Minister Andrew Holness, I have a series of questions to ask. We went through your St. Lucian, Jamaica ties earlier today, Prime Minister. We want to ask the question, does the Prime Minister of Jamaica have any other properties outside of Jamaica? And if the Prime Minister does, have those been declared to the Integrity Commission? We saw during Zara Burton's investigation, the Prime Minister even bring his son into his criminal organization even before the age of adulthood, the age of what they call it, the age of majority. Rick Flint, Lennox, Damien, Olivine. Good evening, Darts Gordon. Good evening, those of you who have joined while I'm flattering away. Ronnie Herland, good evening and welcome. Is the Prime Minister's mother involved? Has the Prime Minister's mother been involved in any of the Prime Minister duplicitous act, hiding wealth act? What other business interests does the Prime Minister have outside of Jamaica? Does the Prime Minister have any property in the United States? Now go there along tonight, Prime Minister. They give you something for ponder pan. And we're leaving you with questions to answer. Do you have property and business interests outside of Jamaica? Is your mother involved in any of your duplicitous or racketeering, money laundering, asset hiding, Prime Minister? We're just asking. You, Prime Minister, though, can choose to answer those questions. Or we can dig like the digger we are and keep throwing you to the rope with giant force or investigation has nothing to do with Zara Burton. But global television have joined force with Zara Burton to throw the Prime Minister up the wall by way of investigation. So let it be said. You may not answer our questions. You may dodge our questions like you have done with a lot of Zara Burton's question. Doesn't mean we're not going to ask them, because we want it in record, Prime Minister, that we have asked them. We want it in record that we have asked them. And we want it in record whether you answer them or not. Do you have properties in Miami? What are your business interests outside of Jamaica? Oh, can we fit chat back of them, make we chat front of them, make we bust the batty because we not beg no friend. The information on the screen. Read for yourself. That's all I'm going to give you tonight, Andrew Holness. Answer the questions we've posed. Is there any other assets we're not aware of? If you have properties outside of Jamaica, if you have properties in the United States, why are you being investigated, Andrew Holness, under the U.S. Patriot Act? See the proof there? This year no make up, Andrew Holness. Send go call everybody. Rattigan and everybody. Andrew Holness. Andrew Holness is under investigation under the U.S. Patriot Act. Would you, Andrew Holness, want to start speaking up before Labamouth, Moutamassy, like we road ya so? Start make we mouth fly like Beijing. And this Prime Minister will not be only Beigerism politics. We're going to substantiate all of these documentaries. Do you, Andrew Holness, want to start talking? Hey, no one understand. Hey. Why fe uno pikini? Do you remember when he did have to walk through normal line at airport where they claim set and because of clerical anomalies and all sorts? Why them have to walk through normal line and take off belt and shoes? That was a tick from the US to say if you don't follow suit, when we pull the string, if you don't dance, then there's more to come. Sooner rather than later, your prime minister was talking the Haiti talk. As I said to you this morning, America know they cannot do it. In an election year, Biden cannot offer more blood on the platter. Breaking news. The former president of the United States, Donald Trump, have been convicted for 34 convicted on 34 counts of fraudulent business practice. There will be a sentence. If it is a prison sentence, then it might affect his election chances. But if it is a fine by way, if it is a conviction by way of sentencing by way of fine, then could this seem to be in Donald Trump world political trial boost Donald Trump political electability? So let's see how this all play out in the US court and how quick Donald Trump and his team will roll on for an appeal. Will Andrew Holness time come is the question to ask. Do we have such a robust justice system in order to deal with criminals in or out of office? Say you heard it here first on global television, where we broke the news that the Jamaican Prime Minister and the Jamaican Labour Party is under investigation under the US Patriot Act. Andrew, we have a lot more to say. But as it is, Prime Minister, we here on global television is giving you time to answer the questions, to explain to the Jamaican people, Prime Minister, or even at this point to resign. The Prime Minister is playing politics with the life of Jamaicans. The Prime Minister, in order to protect his secret that the US has on him, well, at some point, if the Prime Minister doesn't comply with us, we're going to throw that out there too. Deep investigation, Prime Minister. Nothing on the US one have you by the balls. We are diggers too. Do you think, Prime Minister, the Americans are the only people who have you by the balls? Andrew Holness have to use the life of your children to play political softball with the Americans in order to save his skin from sanction, from prison, from his assets in the United States or other jurisdictions seized under US sanction. Why do you think the US sanctioned Uganda? Ugandan politicians have stepped out of line and have implemented an anti-gay policy which the Americans and the European Union are up in arms with. If the Ugandans were to play the game of the Americans, we would not have seen the sanction implemented. Therefore, Andre is being also held by the ball. He will have to implement some. He will have to do whatever the Americans demand him to do. Bangarang, on Prime Minister, we are flip-flop talking about integrity, divided loyalty, Kurochis and Maruchins. Yes, Prime Minister. The US have it upon you, and we have it upon you too. Where the US lead with their investigation, Prime Minister, we all will be following. To those on the GTV group, thank you very much for being here. To those on Producer Wayne Global TV, thank you for being here. Those on the GTV studio, thank you for being here. Those on the X tonight, there's quite a few of you. Thank you all for being here. We must continue to ask the Prime Minister's question. We must continue to scrutinize the Prime Minister. And you know, Prime Minister, I said that Williams, how you do. You know, fam, we can come out. I hope you don't go talk to your AI. Prime Minister, try your best. Come in with all your state. So let me read you your rights. Try your best. Don't say I don't know AI and propaganda this tonight, because we will embarrass you. We will embarrass you if you come out and come talk about AI, social media, misinformation. We're going to embarrass you. So if you are going to open your mouth on that question here, on that issue here, think carefully. And if you don't open your mouth on that issue here, ask yourself, is it within my political or legal interests to keep silent on this matter? Could we see our Jamaica Prime Minister in an orange jumpsuit? Could the Prime Minister visit the United States and not return? Hey, go shut up. My, oh, shut up. Hey! Make we get into the holy Nancy and roll into the holy duppy round here. But the Prime Minister must address his nation with this breaking news that the Prime Minister is under investigation under the US Patriot Act. Is breaking story. Hey, mainstream vloggers, good evening. Good evening to the fleet of mainstream vloggers. Other than a social media vlogger, a step up. Where the Gina Burton style investigation. What a bang around. Is the Prime Minister ready for the storm that will blow along his political way? Do you, Andrew Michael Holness, the one that is investigated under the US Patriot Act, would you want to resign before the next general election? Or would you want to go into an information war with global television, Prime Minister? The Americans are not the only one that is going to squeeze your balls, Prime Minister. We will also be squeezing it. We know when we talk, you act like a deaf, dumb, and blind. Deaf, dumb, and blind. But what we can tell you, you won't be able to cock and bull your way out of this. No. Does anyone have a view on the breaking story that the Prime Minister is being investigated under the U.S. Patriot Act? Bobby Montague says, when the debate in relation to sentencing those of our underage who have committed the worst atrocities, hang them, Bobby Montague says. What then, Bobby, shall we do with Andrew Holness after the investigation in the United? Hey, Andrew, do you want to know what the CIA has on you? Oh, God. Why? The water were you in? Ainsworth, Williams, Novlet, Samuels, Paulette Ennis, Jem Ashley. $208 likes after 569. No, sir. Me not can use suffering. You can go on a bed. Huh? You can go on a bed. Me not can use suffering. Ransford McLean. I'm still gonna big up my people them until you decide to hit the like button. Patricia Bartlett. Freedom. We can't want people to just sit down and walk and carry news just for free. So I don't think news cheap. Think we not charging them for read some propaganda in a them paper. All them story, I should have members only me do them. So only me few members listen them your breaking story and they're for them and for free news. And I lap up on a finger like on a finger shorter than for nobody else. Freedom, how are you? On a finger don't shorter than for nobody else. Hit the like button. Elaine Campbell, how are you? Larkland, how you doing, bro? Uno guan, like I said. I still the Williams, Douglas Allen, Novlet Samuels, Hono, Georgia Dennis, Godfrey Davis, Rena, Real Black Woman, Carleen Jones, Paulette Robinson, Special. Who can they have slow analysis? People are break story. And I sit down with nothing. I mean, sit down and tear pound or two. I can take the likes to 300, otherwise I will just sit down and tear pound like me mad. Tear out of space like me an idiot. Huh? You can do better with no finger. Shorty, how are you? Brownman Security, Florence, how you do? Valregard Favor, how are you? No, man, you can do better. You can do better. Lachlan, thank you very much, bro. Trust me. Because whole heap of people investigate them in a Lachlan. You have Department of Justice that investigate them. You have FBI are looking to them. You have CIA are looking to them. So that's why at any point, Beulah, how you do, any point, the Americans want them to play their little games. The Americans can just throw them up the wall because the Americans them freedom know how them corrupt, how them licky, and how they can be led on a string. So all of them, they are compromised. Therefore, them don't have a leg to stand on. Laurie G, should be Laurie Gordon, I think. Them don't have a leg to stand on. So they're always going to have to bow over to their masters, or their masters throw them under the bus whenever they become disobedient. Christopher Murray, how you know? Whenever they become disobedient. So food or pick they want to say Andrew, a then in a Haiti, Andrew could have stepped down. You understand? Because if him step aside, the Americans may allow him. You understand? But because he want to hold on to power, he's willing to offer the blood of your children in order to save him skin. You want a more dangerous animal than that. When the Prime Minister under investigation ask him to resign, tell him say Global TV said the US Patriot Act is under investigation under the US Patriot Act. And the day him don't play Joe Biden game, he will be thrown under the bus. He will be sanctioned. He could travel to America and not be given the chance to return to Jamaica. That is your Prime Minister of Jamaica, Patrick Godfrey. That is your Prime Minister. Your Prime Minister under investigation, Nadine Wilson. Your Prime Minister under investigation. Is your Prime Minister competent, credible, and qualified to continue? Do you trust your Prime Minister to continue? Does your Prime Minister have the political credibility, the trust in his public office? Can your Prime Minister continue and survive? And survive in this swelter of embarrassment. We're going to show them. So we don't break, make up story like Nationwide. We break big story. Is your mother involved, Prime Minister, in any of your schemes and racketeering, asset hiding, tax dodging? Is your mother, Prime Minister? Is your mother involved? Answer these questions. Is your mother involved in any of your duplicitous acts? Is the Prime Minister mother involved in any of the Prime Minister shady dealing of asset dodging, tax dodging? Does the Prime Minister have property or properties in the United States? Ella Flavor. Is the Prime Minister involved in any money laundering activity? is. When this is just an introduction tonight, Prime Minister. Tonight is an introduction to the beans that global TV will be spilling. Are you going to contest the 2025 election? Should I hold my arsenal back, Prime Minister, until the November conference? Or should I drip you like a slow draining spoiled pipe, Prime Minister? But whatever it is, under Holness and the Jamaica Labour Party, you must, you should, you ought to answer these questions. It is in your interests, politically. Politically, I will leave the legally to the Americans. I won't even say the Jamaican justice system. Politically, Prime Minister, you are in a puddle of Shriwai tea. How you go get yourself out of this Yawanya? And I know that Herb and Rattigan will be picking up on this patriotic act investigation. Ja crowd, time come for Andrew Holness. Are you willing, Dorothy Brown? How are you, Prime Minister? To be honest for once, Vernal Henry, in your life, or will you go down, Prime Minister Amoy, in a flame of glory, Prime Minister? Come on, fair clutch. I know Herb them are gonna dig even deeper and harder now if they haven't identified this yet. Because I'm sure this is not from them. I have my own sources. I'm doing my own digging. But I'm sure if they're not aware of this yet, when they become aware of this, hell is just about to break loose around the Prime Minister. Prime Minister, this is what you call a vlogger's gang warfare. Stay tight. How are you? This is what you call, Prime Minister, a media house gang warfare. Zara Burton hit you, yes, so. Global TV hit you, there, so. Jamaican Carlos hit you, there, so. Rattigan hit you, there, so. Hot off of the press hit you, and I just so, Prime Minister. As they recover one blow, another hit again. Will you resign before the next annual conference for the Jamaica Labour Party? Or will you, on the Holness, draw the party with you to your death? Rosemary Samuels, to members of the Jamaica Labour Party, are you willing for your political career to be buried with a politically dead Andrew Holness? Are you willing to go to prison with him? Are you willing to come under US sanction with Andrew Holness? throw him under the bus, wield the political knife. His knife he wielded at Mount Golden turn around this evening to stick poor little Matt. Wield, beat and teach, Wagwan. Wield the political knife. It might just save some of your political career. It might just save some of you from asset seizure and sanction. It might just save some of you from going in a jumpsuit with Andrew, Michael, Holness, that which is under investigation under the U.S. Patriot Act. You heard it here first, right here on the Global Television Group. To those over on the X, I know there's a lot of Jamaican Labour Party member over there. Screenshot it and send it to the executive committee of the Jamaican Labour Party and say your sitting that spun the JLP machine has turned into a nightmare that is going to haunt the party for many years to come. Wield the political knife. Wayne Evans, how are you? Andrew Holness' political career is over. Say you heard it here first on global television. Wield the political knife. Who else there? Who else there? Who else there? It not pretty old there. It not pretty old there. Harris Chan. We're not even going to talk about you. But Harris Chan. Hey. Let me say to the members of the Jamaica Labour Party, whether be by the United States, by global television, you're all under investigation. Brendan Mitchell, how you do? You are all under investigation. We're in the Aquarian era, the moment of enlightenment and truth. That's why go so go come. The cut no dash anymore. Mainstream vloggers. When was the last time you broke a story? Try to be like the queen of investigative journalism, the queen of journalism, Zara Burton. When was the last time you broke a story? How often has the government shut you up? Tell Andrew Holness, this is the start of something that we're not going to walk away from. I wonder if you're going to shot me like Greg Christie, Prime Minister. I wonder if the Prime Minister is going to send his gunmen at me in order to silence me. Even if you silence me after tonight, Prime Minister, it will not silence anything. Global TV has made it known that the gates of hell is open against this Prime Minister. And where the US investigators lead, global TV will follow as closely as we can. Be warned, under Holness. You're under stadium beam light. You are under stadium beam light. We can spot a fly upon you from far. Trouble did it. Look your TV say. Trouble did it. True on that tonight. Walk and spread it far and wide. And tell the Prime Minister, be careful. Thank you very much for being here tonight on the people that say what the COVID money that's are. You're going to able if you can tell the US. Hey, Jesus. When the Prime Minister in a ruckus and practice. Huh? You could have tied $1 million back home to your Prime Minister. They will never be able to drug him. Remember when cow used to stuck in a mud and we have to dig under the cow belly, push wood under the cow belly, then men from both sides ice the cow out of the slug of mud. Do you think, Shaman Ranger, you can be saved by that, Prime Minister, where the mud lead? We here on global television will follow. Thank you very much for being here tonight in our breaking story. Spread it far and wide that the Jamaica Labour Party and the Holness is under investigation under the U.S. Patriot Act. Kareem Peart. Good evening. How are you? Walk up pretty. We don't have to take time talk. He said global TV show the proof. And global TV, real sweet, is going to continue, Georgette Brown, to bring you information on this story. But we're going to drip feed the Prime Minister. We have to turn down the saline. We don't drip him too fast. We make the saline drip slow. Ask any medical profession about saline. We're going to saline the Prime Minister. All right? Saline you, Prime Minister. So be prepared to be on politically intravenous drip for some time to come. A resignation, though, Prime Minister, may clear you of a lot of what is to come. Your greed, though, Prime Minister, your narcissism and your hunger for power, Prime Minister, may be the ultimate detriment of not just the Holness, but the Holness family criminal empire. Thank you for being here with us this morning. Here we go this morning. Legal time. And Yvonne Green. Crocodile. Me I tell you about. But of course, in the United Kingdom, it's this morning. It's after 1 in the morning. So, is the holder, how you know? Hey, and the holder is not a problem, you know? you don't understand. But as time develop and we have got put certain information forward, we only hope the Prime Minister no brand me as AI. Prime Minister, look here. I be this. Me no AI. Hey, me no AI Prime Minister. So no go talk. He say, AI. Sit up and make this. Not AI. Don't bother go walk and tell no lie, partner. AI around you. See ya? Look at me. I made this. CENAAN sanctions coming your way. Whether be the Prime Minister or some of you illicitly close to the Prime Minister may soon be under sanction. Irvin Morgan, how are you? First time seeing you on the group. And to those of you who are first coming to the Global Television Group, thank you for joining us. Thank you for being here. Your entrance and support is appreciated. Make sure you also hit your notification bell so whenever time Global Television puts out a broadcast, which we do 3 times per day, generally twice when we're busy, one of our program doesn't go out, but we broadcast on a daily basis, Mavis Swabs. So make sure you have all your notification bell and everything hit. So whenever we go live, you all will have a chance to sit down. Thank you very much for being here this evening. Join us back here tomorrow morning for your At a Glance program. Anthony Rainford, how are you? Join us back here for your At a Glance program tomorrow morning. Make sure bright and early on there. You might never know what bomb may be dropping. But you can run around and tell the world you heard it on global television that the Prime Minister is under U.S. Patriot Act investigation. Thank you very much and good night from the group.